climb to the next level of awareness. That's right. So thank you so much for joining the show today. That's right. You're here at More News You Can Use with Lymphologist and guess what? If you want to be a celebrity on the show, just let us know and click the button below. And you'll be the guest celebrity on More News You Can Use with Lymphologist. Click the link. Click the link now. Hello, it's time for More News You Can Use with Lotus Roche, and of course, my phenomenal guest co-host, Miss Hillary Gooden, the queen of the lymphatic bounce. Now, look, we're going to get right into the show tonight. I want to share this with you. I'm sending you a hearty hello and welcome to everyone coming back to the show. Make sure you like, share, start a watch party. Like, share, start a watch party, and run and tell somebody that we have got more news that you can use. Now, the first things first, honey bun, come on in, get your notepad and get your pen because it's time to win. Tonight, we are going to be talking about Imagine Me post-pandemic. That means imagine you too post-pandemic, because after all, we know for so many has experienced so many negative things. We've lost a lot of people this year, not just to death, but we've lost people in the way they think and their resolve to move forward. And even that, at the same time, we have also grown globally. And the reason I say that is because many of us had to pivot in the middle of the middle. We had to change how we do things. We had to change how we think. We had to change how we even communicate with people, not all around the globe, but even how we communicate with people in our own homes. Yes, our families. I wonder how many of you have children that was not used to the children staying home every day. Some people, I think it drove them crazy. But guess what? We got through it. We got through it, and we're still getting through it. And it's nothing to it but to do it. And so tonight, go ahead, like, share, start a watch party. Like, share, start a watch party, and run and tell somebody that we have more news you can use. Now, as you come in, go ahead and share with us where you're coming in from. We love to be connected all over the planet. And of course, if we don't know who we're connecting with, then we don't know what we don't know. And we want to say, we told you so here at News You Can Use. So come on in, go ahead and grab a friend. And go ahead, as I say on the Lotus Roche Ignite Show, grab a friend and bring them on in. Now, many of you are saying, Lolo, what you got going on? What you know? What's in your cup? Well, I'll tell you this. You go ahead and grab your cup and I'll grab mine, and I won't leave you behind. I'll let you know what's in my cup. Tonight, I'm drinking elderberry tea. Why don't you join me? All right. Tonight, I've got some elderberry tea in the cup. That's really nice. That's really nice. I go to some Whole Food stores sometimes, or, various health food stores. And I'm really happy to get some great tea because, as you know, elderberry tea is really good for the immune system. It's great for your immune system. It'll help give you energy as well as boost your immune system. And so we're not going to go too deep on the elderberry tea tonight, but don't forget, get your notepad and get your pen, because tonight we've just got a phenomenal topic, because we are going to talk about what we would look like, or even what we hope to look like. Imagine me post-pandemic. Okay. So get your thinking caps on. Go ahead, like, share, start a watch party, run and tell somebody. And I'm going to run backstage and grab my co-host, Miss Hillary Gooden. Now, as you come in, let's start the party off right. Come on in and tell us where you're coming in from. And also go ahead and grab a friend. We're going to take a quick break for the calls. I'm going to go and grab my co-host, Hillary Miss Gooden, the queen of the lymphatic bounce. And we are going to bounce on into the show. We'll be right back. hello, and welcome back to more news you can use with Lotus Rashay. We've got another spectacular show for you that's going to help you climb to the next level of awareness. That's right. So thank you so much for joining the show today. That's right. You're here at More News You Can Use with Lotus Rashay. And guess what? If you want to be a celebrity on the show, just let us know and click the button below. And you'll be the guest celebrity on More News You Can Use with Lotus Rashay. Click the link. Click the link now. All right, welcome back to the show. I told you I wouldn't be going long. Well, maybe I didn't. But in either case, I am back. And guess who else is here with me? I want you to welcome to the platform tonight my amazing co-host. She's got us started every Monday where we are doing lymphatic bouncing. And lymphatic bouncing has helped myself and many others all over the globe lose weight. Why? Because we get down with more ounce to the bounce with our co-host, Hillary Gooden, the queen of the lymphatic bounce. Hey, Hill, how you doing?
Hey, Miss Lotus. Hello, everyone.
How you doing?
You know, I love when you said some of us had to make a pivot in the middle of the middle. Oh, this is going to be a good discussion tonight.
All right. Yeah, I can't wait to get into it. I was sharing with our viewers that we're going to be talking about Imagine Me in post-pandemic. What about you, Hillary? Have you even thought about what post-pandemic is going to be like, what this supposedly new normal is going to be like?
You know, for me, it's going to be just continuing the way that I've gone as far as taking the things that I know that can help my body besides, a lot of other stuff. Mm-hmm. And just, there's so many people that have gone on, especially this year, looking for what can I do that's easy, natural, and drug-free that I can do to help my body. And so, myself, along with thousands of other people, are going to keep along on that journey, taking my part, do my responsibility, and just help myself,
All right. Yes, ma'am. So, so many people talk about that things had shifted so much for them. And so many people shared that they lost their jobs. Many people, of course, lost their lives, unfortunately. And many people lost their homes. They lost their livelihood. And they lost some of the connections with their families. But the flip side of it is that many of us made connections with our families like never before. So I want to also touch on that tonight, folks, as we get on in and we get in where we fit in. So really quickly, let's go ahead and see who we have chiming in with us tonight. Hill, who we got?
Oh, Angela LT from DC. Hello. Let me do my little wave.
Hey, good to see you. Happy to have you here as always. Yes. We are super duper happy to have you here. Let's see who else we got, Hill.
Elliot Heflin from Lithonia, Georgia. Welcome.
Right. All right. Fantastic. And who else we got?
Daisy Rashay. That's only the second Rashay I know. Hey, Mrs. Daisy, how you doing?
All right. So tell us where you're coming in from, Daisy. We want to know. We want to be a little on the nosy nose side. Let us know where you're coming in from. And let's see who else we got down here. All right. Dr. Heflin, it's great to see you. You guys know he's a phenomenal scientist. He studies robotics. So okay, Hill, where's Daisy saying she coming in from?
Augusta, GA. Yes.
Augusta,
Georgia.
Augusta, GA.
Welcome.
What I'm talking about. All right. And he said, hello. Oh, we got someone, my friend, Mr. Scott Harrod, all the way from LA. Yes. It is so good to see you. And Angie says she's waving right back at you. So, folks, go ahead, like, share, start a watch party, run and tell somebody that Hill and I've got more news that you can use. And don't forget to make sure you get ready. Get yourself something to drink, get your notepad and get your pen, because note takers are money makers. And tonight we have a phenomenal guest with us all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina. She is going to talk to us about this thing that we call the pandemic. And all of us are going to imagine, me, you, all of us post-pandemic. And I double dog dare you to stick around, because we want to hear from you. And you can share with us how you view yourself post-pandemic. So I really like to introduce you to our next guest. And for those of you that have even diabetes, high blood pressures, things like that, you definitely want to stick around, because our guest has got some secret sauce, and you definitely want to get lost in the sauce. You want to be able to sop the sauce up, because she is a phenomenal young lady. So give us a quick second. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back with our next guest. And stick by, and you will have our guest in the apple of your eye. How about that? I like that. Let me get this up here for you folks. All right, here we go. Here we go. You ready, Hill? Because I'm ready. All right, let's get it going.
Ready,
all right,
like
folks,
ready.
Enjoy.
A lot of people ask me, what is a health coach and why are you one? Well, for over 30 years as a pharmacist, I did patient consultations and provider consultations. And about 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with multiple autoimmune diseases, including lupus, fibromyalgia, and rheumatoid arthritis. Today, I'm thankful to say that with faith, research, and habit change, I no longer have fibromyalgia or rheumatoid arthritis, and lupus is asymptomatic. As a health coach, I focus on disease prevention, total body health, and getting to the root cause of illnesses. According to Dr. Brian Mole, a diabetes expert and certified functional medicine practitioner, he says that health coaches are the bridge between patients and their primary healthcare provider. The healthcare system right now is not designed for people with chronic illnesses, and a lot of times they fall through the cracks. And that's where health coaches come in. The health coach complements the healthcare system, just like yoga instructors, chiropractors, massage therapists, and acupuncturists. I am thankful that I'm a health coach and that I am more accessible to patients for questions, support, encouragement, and empowerment. I am just so honored to be a part of the patient's journey to have their better health and to reach their optimal goals. I know from experience that if you change one habit, you can change your life forever.
Please welcome our wonderful guest. She is all the way from North Carolina. She is a CEO of Discover Ultimate Health LLC. She's a health and wellness coach, and she's here with you and I and Hill today to bring you some amazing news about Imagine Me post-pandemic. Please welcome Phyllis Weaver.
Hi, everybody. You surprised me with that clip.
You know I always got some secret sauce.
Yeah, that was a secret for sure, because I was like, whoa, what is going on here? Yeah,
I always got some secret sauce. Always got some secret sauce. So, hey, we got somebody else in from Chi-Town, Nikki Hammer. Good to see you. Make sure you like, share, start a watch party. For those of you that's just joining us tonight, we have a fantastic topic tonight that we're going to talk about, and it is called imagine me post-pandemic. We have, of course, my phenomenal co-host, Miss Hillary Gooden. As you know, she is the queen of the lymphatic bounce. I said it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I am not a penny looking for change. Cha-ching, because I make all the cash. And I mean that. I mean that like this. See, the cash is really a frequency. And so money has a frequency. So when I say I make all the cash, I bring the positive frequency out so we can put the positive frequency out to you guys with more news that you can use. And Miss Hillary Gooden is my phenomenal guest co-host. And of course, we have a great special guest today. Like we said before, Miss Phyllis Weaver. And if you guys don't know, now you know. So let's get right into the interview, Phyllis, because we're super duper happy to have you. I've seen you on speaking summits and things like that, and out in Cali. I saw you out in Cali, and I know you really make your rounds. But tonight you're here with us, so I'm super happy to have you. So can you tell us a little bit more about yourself, and then tell us what inspired you to come to the show?
Okay. Well, Phyllis Weaver, pharmacist. I've been a pharmacist for over 30 years, and I've decided to be a health coach because, one, I have had a lot of health issues, and I wanted to get them under control. If not, get rid of them. So that was one of the reasons why I decided to do what I'm doing now. And I had the opportunity to start doing that once I had lost a position in the pharmacy. And I had been wanting to do health coaching for a while, but because of my schedule, I never could, do it and take classes that I wanted to take. And so I had the opportunity, and that's how I got started.
Wow, that's awesome. So 30 years is a long time to be dedicated to something, and then knowing that, you know what, I really want to do something else. I really want to be a health and wellness coach so I can really help people to be and do and have their best life. And as Hillary always say, help people return to what, Hillary?
Homeostasis.
Awesome. So
I love that word.
So go ahead, Hill. That's your question, Hill.
So, Phyllis, what inspired you to be on the show today?
Well, this is just an awesome platform to really showcase your health and your wealth too. I'm sure we'll get to that later, but I wanted to be on this platform because everybody deserves good health and support. And News You Can Use provides information and support. All types of resources and tools are available and offered. And it's also a global platform. So we can reach people all over the world. And so that was one reason why I wanted to be on the show and put in my little 2 cents.
Well, thank you. We appreciate your 2 cents because 2 cents, they multiply. It's two multiply, right? So thank you so much. So we gotta ask a hard question. We've been going through a lot in 2020, and we wanted to put you in the hot seat. And we're gonna put our viewers in the hot seat. So can you tell us how you subscribe. She said she was a pharmacist, right? Yeah. How do you describe 2020?
Whew. That's one way to describe it. It's like almost taking my breath away. It's been one of the most difficult years I've ever had. I mean, I've had some difficult ones, and this one is at least in the top 3. So the thing about this year, I had just started my business. I had just set up some speaking engagements, set up some appointments. I had some clients lined up, and I felt like I was like on my way. And then all of a sudden everything just like halted.
Mm-hmm.
And you were saying pivot in the middle.
Yes.
I didn't even get to a middle, you know. So, you know, I had to just like, you know, try to figure out, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? You know, I do better to myself anyway. I do better when I speak to people in person.
Mm-hmm.
And so those type of engagements were canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there are opportunities to, you know, do webinars and things like that, but it still wasn't what I had planned to do. It totally threw my whole program off,
Mm-hmm.
the way I was thinking of it anyway.
Right.
And so I had to learn, try, and I'm still in that learning process,
Mm-hmm.
learn how to use all the different types of social media, learn how to use some of the tools, even to like Zoom.
Yep.
I only have used Zoom prior to 2020, just to log on and to listen to somebody else's presentation. But then to try to figure out how to use like Zoom, what is it? GoToMeeting,
Yes.
GoToWebinar, all those other ones. It was like, what in the world? It put me on a whole different learning curve. And my brain wasn't quite ready for that because I was already working on some other things that were quite time consuming. So, you know, I was still working on, even though I had gotten the health coach certification, I was still working on a mastery as
Right.
a transformational mastery coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm finally finished with that and my life coaching. So I was working on that and trying to figure out how to do some Zumba classes, which I still haven't figured that one out yet, because, you know, I had the Zumba certification, and there were, you know, some other things that I was, you know, been working on that I'm still figuring it out little bit by little bit. And just like some other people, got more sedentary because I
Yes.
ended up picking up some things on the side that had me locked into a straight schedule. I had to clock in, and I've never had to really clock in before because I always worked, you know, what is it? Oh man, I can't even get the word out, but I never had to clock in.
Right.
And so this time I had to clock in when I start. I had to, you know, let somebody know when I had to use the restroom and clock back in after using the bathroom. And then you had like your little 10-minute break if you could even fit that in. And a lot of times I actually was working through the little 10-minute break. And then I'm like, oh no, I forgot to take my break. And then you got to send a little note saying, I forgot my break. Can I take my break? You know, I was like used to stuff like that. And then, you know, every little thing. And then I was like locked into a, you know, sitting for like 11 hours. And that is not good for you. It's not good for your body, your mind, your spirit, you know, nothing. And so I kind of got out of exercising on a regular, and I ended up gaining weight. Yeah, health coaches do gain weight too when you don't do right.
and what they say is, phew. So I don't know about you,
Right.
Hill, but I'm hearing Phyllis say that 2020 has been very challenging, and she's had to make some
Challenging
major
indeed.
shifts. So what about you,
That's
Hillary? And
right.
what about all of you? How has 2020 been for you? Put it in the comment block below. So Hill, how's 2020 been for you? What comes
You
to
know,
mind?
2020 started out good. January was a good month. And February, for the most part, was a good month. And then it's like the
Yep.
world came together in a way that was not a fabulous way. You know, it was such an unexpected togetherness that we found ourselves in worldwide. And
Mhm.
what I saw and what I will remember the most is that just seeing people, and some people I'm sure for the first time, turning to God, turning to
Mhm.
prayer, you know, and just seeing the some people come together in the
Yep.
midst of it. I said, wow, you know, it's sad that it took something like this, but I saw a togetherness come because we were all in this thing worldwide.
Yes.
That's just,
Yes.
I'll never, ever forget those early days
Hmm.
of just knowing another country. You know, it was just like, oh my God, is he mad with us? Is he mad with all of us? What
Yeah.
the world is going on? I think we need to all consider, how are we living and what changes. We all were in the middle at that point.
Yes.
There
Yes.
was nowhere to turn for most people but up.
Yep.
So,
That's
you know,
true.
that's one thing I'll remember. I'll also remember that even in the midst of, you know, it's not to negate all of the lives that were taken, you
Yes.
know, and families not being able to be there with their families, you know, before they left this realm.
Hmm.
Uh, Even in the midst of all of that, I know I'm not the only one that made connections in the midst of the pandemic that are life changing connections that I've
Yes.
made. I know, even like with Lotus, and even in the midst, God put me together with you in the midst of all of this stuff. I didn't
Yep.
know you, or you didn't know me, and
Yep.
yet God spoke to someone on another social platform that I was going to meet somebody. Her name sounded like Lois, and then I met Lotus. You know, and just some other connections that I've made that are round, that are global. It's just like,
Hmm.
oh my God, even in the
Yes.
midst of all of this, some good. I always tell people you have to look for the good, and
Yes.
it,
That's
it
true.
wasn't, it wasn't, it wasn't not there. There were some good things that happened, but the togetherness, even at the peak of it, was what I'll always remember.
Yes. That's awesome. That's awesome. And and so this is what I want to ask you, both of you ladies, this question. And I'm gonna put my 2 cents in. So for me, 2020 was it was very challenging for many. But again, we hear that word pivot, we hear that word shift. And a lot of people are saying you have to learn how to pivot, you have to learn how to shift. I think we also have to learn how to be still, because a lot of us were so afraid that we started doing things that maybe we weren't really designed to do. And sometimes we have to really be still and hear that very voice of what I call God's voice really speak to us and bring about a calming, because we were panicked, many of us all around the world. And many of you know people all around the world, just as I do, and Hillary and Phyllis, of course. And many people were panicked, and many people, their faith was tested. And so sometimes in the middle of the middle, we have to not only shift and pivot, but sometimes we have to stand still. So for me, it was a moment to really look at what I already have, what I could be thankful for. And one of the primary ones is always my family. And I think in
Mm.
this process, we learned to, many of us, we had to be still, and we had to
Mm.
value what we were given when we came on the earth plane. And that was typically our biological family. Now, some of us didn't have our biological family because we were adopted, but some had their biological families, and some that didn't have their biological families, they had their adoptive families. So I'm speaking to everybody. So we had to stick and stay and stand. Even for those in foster care, we had to stick, stay, and stand. And so that's what comes to mind when I hear 2020. How did we stick, stay, and stand? How did we appreciate what we've been so plentifully given? And how did we learn to stand still, to just stand still in the moment? So I want to ask you ladies, before we go to a brief break, when we talk about imagine me post-pandemic, when we talk about describing 2020, I want to hear from you ladies. Not right now, when we come back, I want to hear from you ladies. What words come to mind when somebody say 2020? All right, 2020. Okay. And folks, I'm double dog daring you. Put in the comment, what are the first things that come to your mind when we say 2020? And I want to see how many people have the same answer. Because if we know one thing, it has caused us to think very similar. Even people we don't know all across the world, like Hillary said, we didn't know each other before now, but guess what? We do now. So we're going to take a quick break or pause for the cause, and we're going to be right back because I want to know some secret sauce on what words come to your mind, and you won't be left behind. We'll be right back. If you're an entrepreneur and you are ready to live the dream in 2021, well, come on and get on board with the visibility strategist herself, the CEO of Unity in Service, where people need people, the phenomenal Patricia Rogers, as she presents Entrepreneurs Living the Dream 2021. It's an online event that you don't want to miss. There will be several opportunities for public speakers, public TEDx speakers. You heard it right, public TEDx speakers. Starting on February 25th, 2021, June 24th, 2021, October 21st, 2021, April 22nd, 2021, and August 26th, 2021. You don't want to miss this. Get at her at info@patriciarogers.com, info@patriciarogers.com, where Unity in Service, where people need people. And we're back, and we are going to tackle this question. What word comes to your mind when you hear us say 2020? But before we do that, we're going to take a pause for another cause, the cause of our viewers. So we see Angela Elton saying hello from YouTube. So that's right. Check us out on YouTube. I know a lot of people may not have Facebook or Instagram, and they've been asking us, hey, Lotus, can we check you out on YouTube? Of course. Go right to my channel on YouTube. Hit me there. Go to Lotus Richey Ignites, and check it out. I see something from Angela. She says, definitely had to be more flexible and think out of the box. Enjoy creative cooking, recipes, and exercise. Thank you, Angie, for that. And she said, wow, that's tough to go from working freely to structure and vice versa. That's correct. And so here we got a comment from Mr. Scott Harrod. What is Scott saying?
He said, Phyllis, Phyllis, what services do you provide as a health and wellness coach? And how has that changed in 2020?
Well, as a health coach, health and wellness coach, I provide services. I have a program that's set up to help you to either reverse your symptoms or get rid of your symptoms completely. And the program is set up to help you with your exercise, stress, nutrition, and sleep regimens to get you on the right track. And I have programs that is one-to-one, could be on group. And I also, since I do have the fitness as a fitness instructor, I do also offer a program that's set up with all different types of exercises. If you want to include that with me, then I have that for you. And as far as how the services have changed, like I said before, it's been kind of difficult because now everything has to be completely on the phone or either through a webinar. And I actually prefer to be be right with you. So that's one of the things that has changed. And I want to also piggyback on what you were saying before, Ms. Richey, that sometimes you have to just sit and wait and just, be patient and hear God speak to you. And I know for about 2 months, I did sit still, but I was so restless because it felt like I was just hearing crickets. And so then I started just trying all different things to see if, will this work? Will that work? And so when I finally, got my mind straight and got calm and at peace and prayed for God to give me clarity, that's when things started coming together more.
All right, I love it. So let me just share this with those of you that are out there. As being a person that has um, understood some of the processes of Discover Ultimate Health, I've got to tell you, one of the primary things that I noticed with Discover Ultimate Health is a few things. With Ultimate Health, it's unequivocal that she does a myriad of things. And one of them is that she creates a greater awareness and a seriousness about the diabetes. She talks about the diabetes, and she has an open forum for all issues related to and how it affects individuals in their families, in their community with diabetes. So I challenge you to go to her website, and I'll copy her website and I'll put it here for you so that you can see it. Give me a second. I'll get it right up here for you. Go to her website, check her out, and she'll help you help yourself ignite and take flight in the wellness of your life. She talks about the wellness experience. And she talks about active coaching, because the way she coaches, she takes her education and her training and she helps kind of put it right in your lap to give you the tools and strategies that you need to be healthy, not just in your body, but a 365 approach, mind, body, and soul. So I want to say thank you for that question. That was a great question. So let's go down. Who else do we have? I'm gonna put her to work. Let's put Miss Phyllis to work. Who else we got, Miss Phyllis?
Miss Kenya Jones, she says 2020 has been challenging as far as social media is concerned.
Wow. So I know many people they don't know how to get on social media. And so one thing that my company does, we help people get in front of people that need and want their services. And just like all of us here are entrepreneurs, for me, I think there were some challenges, but not as many because I was already doing live broadcasts. What about you, Hillary?
Yeah, for me, I'm already doing live broadcasts as well, but I found myself doing them more, especially at the beginning, because I felt the heart of people, the panic, the fear.
Yes.
The fear was so thick, and I was doing tips on how to reduce stress and anxiety, just day after day after day. And I just kind of got back wholeheartedly in the live streaming because of the pandemic.
Wow.
And trying to help people.
And we got another response from Nikki Hammer all the way out in Chi-Town. She said, "Hey Divas, from my point of view of 2020 is that I had to fight more as disability advocate person to speak up more about our needs that people forgot about, service that needs to be in place. Special remote learning was the biggest challenge for my son who couldn't process online, and I had to fight the Board of Education to push these people to find a way to provide education for him." And that's a travesty, because just imagine, people already with disabilities already had it challenging enough. So then COVID came along and really made it even more challenging. So wow, thank you so much, Scott and Kenya and Nikki, for those remarks. That's awesome. And then we have another question. Who else we got, Hillary?
Miss Tesha Evans. I can't wait until 2021 because 2020 has been tough. Grateful to God that He got us through this year. Amen to that.
Yes, that's for sure. So let's look at what Scott Harrod says. Scott says, 2020 has been a very stressed year, but I'm grateful to have had great sources of income and saved more money than ever from social distancing. He said 2020 was a time for me to give back to others time and money and focus more on family, blood, and Naturally Plus USA while working remotely. So Naturally Plus USA, what can I say? It's time to take a break, take a pause for the pause, and wet my palate. So I'm gonna jump right in on Naturally Plus and have me some Izumio hydrogenated water. And many people ask me why I drink it. I'm gonna tell you why I drink it, and the other ladies drink it too. And I'm sure that Scott drink it. So if those of you that drink Izumio, put in number 3 in the comment block below, because you know that you know. Izumio is hydrogenated water. It breaks the blood-brain barrier so that it can hydrate our cells at an accelerated rate, and it helps us to overcome some of the difficulties that we're facing in our body, and helps return us to what, ladies? Homeostasis.
Homeostasis.
All right, fantastic. So let's get back in. Hey there, Carol. Carol's coming all the way in from Quebec, Canada. It's so good to see you. Happy to have you here. Rosemarie Sanchez is on the box. She said, "My dear friend Lotus Richey, co-author in the book Breakthrough Volume 2 and 4. I believe in your journey 100%. Thank you, and I believe in you too." Angie put a number 3 in the comment block below. And the wonderful Pamela Lou Hing is here with us all the way from Texas. It's great to see you. And Scott Harrod also put a number 3. So we're going to go right to this question. We talked about, for those of you that's just joining us tonight, we're talking about Imagine Me Post-Pandemic. That's the title of our show, Imagine Me Post-Pandemic. And you know what, ladies? Some people hadn't even imagined that 2021 would be as difficult as it has been. But they also didn't imagine that some people would make more money, would make greater bonds, would make greater changes than they ever had before. And we ask people, what words come to your mind when you hear 2020? And so in one word, we're going to tell you what comes to our minds. And let's kick it off with our guest. What comes to your mind, Phyllis?
One of them is resilient.
Resilience. And why resilience?
Well, because there have been so many different things to push you back, to set you back. But because you just continue to press on and persevere and have the hope and faith that things are going to get better and change, you just keep on going and don't let anything stop you so that you're not sedentary. So that's my biggest one. And And on top of that, I'm really trying to be more resilient than ever, because February, you know, changed February changed our lives a lot, especially mine, because um, February was like the last time I'd seen my father until I finally got a chance to see him in September. And his birthday was in September, and I really didn't want to go much longer without seeing him. And I'm so grateful to God that I was able to do that, because I was trying to wait for, them to say, okay, you can, leave your state and go to another state. And so I kept waiting for that time period. And so when when I got that time, I took off on that weekend, and I went to see him. And I didn't know that that would be the last time I would actually get to see him in person. So, so I'm just thankful, and I'm just, know that resilient is a word for a lot of people.
Yeah. And I just want to take a moment to stop in the moment. Because I remember when you shared that your father had passed, and we sent our love and our warm embrace to you, Phyllis, because it is hard to be resilient when you lose a loved one. And for those of you that don't know, this year she lost her father, of whom she was very, very close to. And even in that, I heard you say you were still resilient, and you had to press on, and you had to persevere. And so many have lost so many. And we send our love and positive energy out to you. And thank you, Phyllis, for being so transparent and sharing that, because even in our loss, we must press on and persevere. So thank you for sharing that. And those are good reasons to use those words, because even in the middle, we still have to persevere and be resilient. So, Hillary, what words come to mind? What one word comes to mind when you hear 2020?
PPE.
PPE.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like it didn't exist before, but for thousands and thousands of us, we didn't know nothing about PPE. But we all do now.
So some people still don't know what it means. So can you tell us what PPE means?
Protective, and I don't even know what the second P is. What's the second P, Miss Phyllis?
The second P is personal protective equipment. Yeah.
Okay, got it. We all know about our masks and our cleansers for our hands and washing our hands and just staying, just trying to stay as safe as possible for ourselves and for other people around us. I mean, we all know the utmost importance of that. And we should none of us should take it lightly. Yeah.
Exactly. And I love that you shared about personal protective equipment. And you said many of us have known about it, but we didn't employ it. And I gotta say, Hillary, in looking at imagine me post-pandemic, I'm gonna be doing what the Japanese has done for years. Like when I went to Japan, people had on PPE. If they had a little cold, they wanted to protect other people in the communities. And instead of coughing in the air or coughing all over people, or even coughing in their shirt, they wore a mask. So the word that comes to my mind wasn't really PPE, and that's a wonderful word. And I think we need to embrace that word as we go forward. Because sometimes we don't know the person right next to us can be really ill. So go ahead and put in the comment, folks, what comes to your mind when you hear 2020. And what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come right back because earlier on in the week on my other show, I shared something called Think and Grow Rich. I had a great guest there. And you know what? This is the thing. We have to think about how to protect ourselves. We learned that. We learned that in 2020. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. If you're ready to think and grow rich, go ahead and grab that link and get involved. Start your Think and Grow Rich program. All right, folks, we are back. And if you are looking to think and grow rich, to think outside of the box, to do something that you haven't done before, now is your time. I tell you, don't run into 2021 the way you came into 2020. Do something different. Learn to think outside of the box, to think and grow rich. And we're not talking about money. We're talking about in every area of your life. Because after all, we have to expect the best in our lives, but we got to think about it. And so I want to share what words come to my mind when I hear 2020. Gratitude. Gratitude. Expecting the best. Norman Vincent Peale said, when you expect the best, you release a magnetic force in your mind, which by a law of attraction tends to bring the best to you. Because let's face it, we've been in some serious situations this year. But because many of us have been grateful, we've been thankful even in the midst of negativity, we've been able to rise over it. We've been, as Phyllis said, resilient, and that's phenomenal. So we're about to put Miss Phyllis back in the hot seat after we check out some of your comments. But go ahead, if y'all want us to put Miss Phyllis back in the hot seat, go ahead and put a number 4 in the comment block below. She's saying no. She's saying no, but I say put in a 4. She's saying no, but me and Hill is say put in a 4. If you want us to put her back in the hot seat. So let's look up here at some of the words, some of the things that we have here. Angela said, I love drinking Izumio hydrogenized water every day. It's the best supplement for my daily life. And yes, it is phenomenal. And just just to let you know, you see all of us, we drink Izumio water because we know what it does for us. And now we can't tell you to go out there and purchase Izumio water, but truly it is an investment in yourself, in your health, because after all, our health is our wealth. And we want to let you know that we are not physicians, and we are not saying that anything can or will cure you. We cannot say that, but what we can do is share with you what we do, and just check it out. Check with your physician first, and it might work for you too. So Carol says, hey divas, nice to listen to you tonight. It's nice to be listened to. Thank you so much. And Scott Harrod, what Scott Harrod say, Phyllis?
Resilience is a great word. Thank you, Scott.
And Hill, I think Miss Carol's got a word for Miss Phyllis.
Oh, thank you so much. She says, sorry for your loss, Phyllis. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm grateful that I had the time with him that I did. He was a great dad.
And Scott said, my heart goes out to you, Phyllis.
Thank you so much.
And of course, Angela says, sending you condolences and prayers, Phyllis. And Pam says, pivot. Carol says, opportunities. And we got some 4s. for us. So it's time to put you back
Although I hope we're ready.
back in the hot seat. And I'm gonna give you a quick break. I'm gonna flash this question up here. Let Hill get the question, and then I'm gonna go to a comment. I'm gonna go to a comment that I think Angie gave a second ago. So this is the question. So Hill, you want to read that question for her, and then I'll go and grab the other comment by our viewers. And Hillary might have lost her signal, so I'll read it. How has the pandemic changed how we view our health and wellness and wealth? So we want you guys to really look at that, because tonight we're talking about imagine me post-pandemic. And in order to imagine ourselves post-pandemic, we've got to see what we've seen in the pandemic. And we want to know, how has the pandemic changed how we view our health and our wellness and our wealth? For me, I'm going to go right out on a limb. For me, I started investing more in myself. I've always been the type of person, I eat fairly well, but I learned some new things, and it changed me. It changed how I protected myself. It changed how I ate, and I've learned that I need more rest, and I'm slowly getting to that point where I get more rest. And so Angela said, health, our health is our wealth. I value my health even more now than better, or that maybe ever. But health is not only nutrition, it's also mindset and exercise, mind, body, and soul. Great comment. And Pam says, so sorry for your loss, Phyllis. A father is a precious gem. He will always be with you. Thank you so much for your comments, ladies. We so appreciate you. So you are in the hot seat. How has the pandemic changed how you view your health and your wellness and wealth?
Well, I've always been really concerned about my health for the longest time, especially after I was diagnosed with lupus and fibromyalgia and rheumatoid arthritis and a few more autoimmune diseases. And so I had already started doing the best I could with my eating and exercise, and trying to do the best I could to keep the stress levels down. One thing that I wasn't doing that I should have been doing more of is sleep, like what you were saying. I was trying to do too much, giving myself too many things to do in 24 hours. And then running out of time for sleep and getting the proper rest so that my mind could calm down. Because when you rest, it's not just for your physical body. When you rest, when you sleep, it helps your cells to regenerate. It helps with your mental clarity, and it's just overall important how you function completely as a whole. And I see myself this year during the pandemic. I realized that I needed to add more to increase my immune system. So I started eating more of the more leafy greens, more of the vegetables and fruits that I needed to beef up the immune system, and drinking more and more Izumio water, because I hadn't started drinking Izumio until the pandemic had started. And I'm like, wow, I really need to do something to improve my immune system, to really beef it up, because even though we are using the PPE and everything, you still don't know what's going to go, through. And so that was one. Those are some of the things that that affected me. I don't know if I answered the question completely. I think I missed a piece.
actually, I think you did very well with the question. So, because we put you in the hot seat, now Hill is back. We're gonna put Hill in the hot seat. So, Hill, we're a little past the top of the hour, but we want to ask you this question as well, because we know that during this time it has really changed us. So how has the pandemic, dealing with it, has it changed you in the way you take care of your health, your wellness, and your wealth? Yeah. Is something going on with your mic, Hill? Is something going on with your mic? Yeah, it's kind of scratchy. Yeah, yeah, it's try it again. Okay. See if you can unplug your mic and replug. Just unplug it and replug it, or go out and come back in, because we really want to hear this from you. How has the pandemic changed how you view your health and your wellness and your wealth? So those of you that's viewing while Hillary is getting her mic situated, I want you to share with us, how has it changed how you view your health, your wellness, and your health? How has it changed? And I know for me, it has changed significantly. I know, Phyllis, and like you said earlier, getting more sleep. So if you know that you need more sleep and you're trying to get more sleep, put a 5, like stay alive, put a 5 in the comment block below if you need to get more sleep. If you need to get more sleep. Another thing is, what about relief of stress? Relief of stress. That's what I learned. That the pandemic helped me to learn that I've got to reduce stress. But this is what I learned, folks. I was less stressed before the pandemic. In the pandemic, I became more stressed. My blood pressure went up. I've always had perfect blood pressure until then, because I began to worry about friends and family. And we often talk about, oh, we shouldn't worry, but the fact is the fact. We worry about friends and family and even our own health. So that's kind of where I was. And even I'm still learning not to worry so much, pray more, worry less, and do things that bring stress-free environments to me, because I have typically I have a very nice life. I'll say that. Yet I had so much stress, and I had to learn to reduce the stress. And one of the things I would do is I just turn my phone off, because it's like, if I hear one more negative thing, it's just, I just couldn't take it anymore. And I think a lot of people had gotten to that point where, they were overwhelmed. And it's okay to say you're overwhelmed. It's okay to know that you're overwhelmed. That's why we have shows like this, News You Could Use, to bring experts to you in their fields to help relieve your stress, help give you tools and strategies of how to overcome. So with that being said, Hill, let's check your mic, because I really love, before we end the show, for you to address that question. So can you undo your mic? Let me see if I can help. No, you got to undo it. See if you can undo your mic. Okay. Unmute your mic. See if you can unmute your mic. I need my phone right now, because I'm about to. I need to call Hillary, because I need her comment on this, because she's the queen of the lymphatic bounce. And one thing that I know is that she taught many people globally how to change how they view their health, their wellness, and their wealth by using the bounce, because the bounce changed all of our lives in so many different ways. So let me see if I can get my phone up here. If I can get my phone up here, then I'm gonna call her and we gonna have her come in on the phone. So Angela said, it has introduced me to Naturally Plus products, which contributes to maintaining optimal health. And then Scott said, stress less, pray more. Beautiful message. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate you. And Pam said, I am more conscientious about what I consume. And that's a big one. That's a huge one. I have eliminated all foods that cause mucus and focus on creating more alkalinity in my body. And that's amazing. That's amazing. If you have ever heard of a book called Mucusless Life, I think it's called, I have the book in my library. We'll have to chat with you all about that one day, but that's a phenomenal book. So thank you, Pam, for saying that. And we got some 5s coming in. Angie said this has, okay, we got that one. All right, and we got that one. Okay, so with that being said, Hill, can you come on with us? Oh, okay, here we go. Reject fatigue and fear and meditate. Reject fatigue and fear and meditate. Reject fatigue, fear, and meditate. So Phyllis, very quickly, as we get ready to wrap up, I'm hoping that Hillary can come on with us. But what I'd like you to do, if you can at all, go ahead and let's see. Hill, can you hear us? Hill, can you hear us? I'll remove your other one. Okay. Can you hear us? Okay. Let's see. She can't unmute. Can't unmute. All right, that's better go. All right, there we go. And see, that's what we're talking about when we talk about press on and persevere and resiliency. Yes. That's what we're talking about. So Hill, let's go. Let's hear from you on how has the pandemic made you think differently about your health and your wellness and your wealth?
It's made me to, I can't say that it really changed the way I felt about my health and my wellness, because it's pretty much the same. It just caused me to dig in deeper and say, you know what, I have got to get this word out, because there are so many things that you can do to help your body help you, along with whatever else you may be trying. You need to try this. If you can activate your lymphatic system, get your lymphatic system working at an optimal level, oh my God. And I don't, oh my God. And so, yes. But then the wealth part began to weigh in on me, because like Phyllis, at the beginning of the year, I too had things kind of set up and planned, say, okay, this speaking is getting ready to be on and popping.
Yes.
2020 is my year.
Yes.
What? That came like a sucker punch out of nowhere.
Yes, it did. Like a straight gut punch in the gut. Yeah, and everything's going great.
I was not expecting this at all. And so, just learning and still learning ways to make it work, because I know I have something good. I know I have something that can change people's lives, not just for 2020, not just for 2021, but for that and beyond, and not just for themselves. These are things that they can share along with, like Phyllis, what she's saying is the same things I'm saying, although she's focusing on one thing and I'm focusing on another, but the outcome is the same. There are things that you can do to help your body, help you, that are easy, natural, and drug-free.
Yep.
And so, that's the part that got me the most, was wondering, oh my God, how am I going to make this work?
Yeah. Wow. Just amazing. Just amazing. So those of you that are looking for ways to enhance your life and looking for a great coach to help you, go right here. Go to Discover Ultimate Health with Phyllis Weaver. Go right there. There's a number right there on top. You can contact her and schedule an appointment and check her webpage out. Webpage out. Sign up for a discovery call if you choose to, and get on the road to wellness and eating healthy. Check her out with Discover Ultimate Health. You'll be happy that you did. And so we are actually beyond the top of the hour. And I want to thank each and every one of you for helping us get the positive information out, because you need to be able to imagine yourself post-pandemic.
That's right.
So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to ask you to imagine yourself. And dare I say, write it down. I say all the time that note takers are money makers, but note takers are change makers. And so if you really, really want to make a change for once in your life, like Michael Jackson always say, right? Facing that person in the mirror. If you really want to make a change, write it down and make it plain. Write it down and make it plain. So I dare you, go ahead and jump into the comment and let us know how you envision yourself post-pandemic. Because when we jump into 2021, I challenge you, jump in with a new vigor, jump in with a new mindset, focused on doing, being, and having everything that you desire to have and be and do. I challenge you. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back with some words of wisdom. Be right back. Need a virtual professional? General virtual assistance is the name of the game. We can help you on your social media, marketing, and management. We do graphic design, video creation, web design, lotus crochet design. We can help you with your StreamYard and Zoom training. Contact us today at Lotus Crochet Ignite, where we can help you ignite and take flight. Awesome. So welcome back. Welcome back. I hope we gave you enough time to get your comments in there. I don't know. What y'all think? You think we gave them enough time, or we need to give them another 30 seconds? What you ladies think?
No, maybe 30 seconds.
You think? See, Hillary nice. She gonna be Hillary gracious. She like, oh, give them another 30 seconds. Let them get it down, because this is the time where we do the critical thinking. We can change what we become when we speak it into existence. So take these 30 seconds and write it down before we go into our final comments, our words of wisdom for this evening. Be right back. Thank you for joining us this evening as we discussed Imagine Me Post-Pandemic with the remarkable Phyllis Weaver and the wonderful co-host, Miss Hillary Gooden, the queen of the lymphatic bounce. And make sure you go to Discover Ultimate Health at discoverultimatehealth.com and grab your free consultation. All right, fantastic. I'm loving it. So let's get right into our words of wisdom. But before we do that, let's take a pause for the calls and look at what we have here. We have Angie. She says, I met Hillary Gooden and learned more about lymphosizing, and Phyllis Weaver, and learned about changing my mindset about my health. And now Phyllis Weaver and I and Angie, we actually know each other personally. We met personally in a personal space before the pandemic. And guess what? Even through the pandemic, we've been praying together. We've been helping each other and sending out that positive energy. And that's a great thing. And then, and as Hillary said, we met virtually, and it's been great. It's been great. So Scott says, great show, ladies. Thank you. And thank you, Scott. We appreciate you. So let's get right down to our final words of wisdom. And our final words of wisdom first is going to come from our wonderful guest tonight, the CEO of none other than Discover Ultimate Health, Miss Phyllis Weaver. Phyllis, what are your final words of wisdom to folks as they endeavor to imagine themselves post-pandemic?
First of all, be grateful that you are still here. And after that, remember all of the things that were necessary to get through 2020 for your health, improving on what you eat, how you sleep, how much exercise, and come up with different things to decrease your stress, whether it's walking. Some people have seen me do some Facebook Lives walking, and walking does a world of good, not just for your health, but for your mind too. And the other thing is to set your goals. Whatever goals that you had for 2020 and you weren't able to get to them because of whatever reasons, just keep those goals. If that's what you still have that desire to do, make sure you go ahead and continue to pursue your dream. And the other thing is let go of any kind of negativity. If you had any kind of negative thoughts from 2020, let it go and turn that into a positive. Just like I've always heard, when you have lemons, turn it into lemonade. And so use that to catapult you to do the things that you want to do. And as far as for me, I still have some dreams. I was actually supposed to go on a cruise last year, but then the hurricane messed up that situation and tore up the Caribbean. And so then I was going to do it this year, and this year is the pandemic. So I'm hoping that things will, be better in 2021, so I can finally have my first cruise. I've never been on a cruise, and I've been waiting to do this for 2 years. And so my other thing is to finish my book. I've been writing a book, and I have like a few more chapters to go. And I definitely want to finish that book. That's my dream. And to also fulfill some other goals and master doing the webinars and having a lot of clients on the webinars.
All right, fantastic. And I like this. I put this on here, master your mission. Master your mission. Know what your mission is. So thanks for your words of wisdom. That's very powerful. So thank you so much. So heal, do what you feel. May we have your final words of wisdom for the show tonight.
Yeah, going forward, and oh, I'm sorry to be so orange here tonight. Yeah, somebody else, but I wasn't trying to copycat.
Stop.
Anyhow.
Stop it.
I didn't want to go there. If there's anything that you desire to do, I think 2020 has shown us that we ought to go for it. Whether it's with your health, you've been saying you're going to get it together, you're going to do something different, this is going to be the time. And, not that you're going to do it for anybody else, do it for you. You matter. Your voice matters. Your health matters. Your finances matter. If there's something that, there's so many people that will never, ever go back to their jobs, even if their jobs are available, because they found their how can I say, their kaumba, their creativity, that thing that they were passionate about but were afraid, and then they were thrown into 2020 and found out, listen, let me try it. And I know a lot of cases where people are not ever going to go back to a job again. There may be something that you've been thinking, I wonder if this is just the time to go for it. 2021 is the year to go for what you have been putting on the back burner. Bring it to the front burner and try it. At least try it. At least try it. And in the meantime, be kind to yourself. Don't bully yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Be kind to yourself. And you'll be surprised what things will work if we just give it a really good try. We put in your 100% effort.
Awesome.
See what happens.
Awesome. I love it. And so, ladies, as we close, we want to ask all of you, how do you see yourself in 2021? And how should we be preparing for 2021? And I really believe that we need to see ourselves in our very best light. We need to see ourselves as the head and not the tail. We need to see ourselves in health and wealth. And we need to jump into action to make it a reality. And so I think we've shared so much with you all tonight. And from my words of wisdom, I would say to all of you, like Michael Jackson used to say, don't stop till you get enough. And I say, don't stop until you win. So with that being said, I want to thank you and thank my wonderful co-hosts and my wonderful guests. I got a phenomenal co-host, y'all. If you know, and we have a few guest co-hosts that's gonna be joining us, helping us out from Naturally Plus all over the world. We've got somebody coming in from Hawaii. We got somebody coming in from Japan. We just got people from all over that's gonna be helping us. And you'll see Scott Harrod. He'll be on the show. He'll be giving his testimony. So make sure you jump on and get with us. Make sure you jump on and get with us, because we are jumping into 2021 running, not just jumping, running. That's right, Hill. Running and jumping into 2021 like never before. So don't miss us on the global jump that's coming up in January. Don't miss us on the 5-day jump that Hillary is going to be hosting. It's going to be phenomenal. Hillary's got a commercial that's coming out about it, so you will see it, because we're going to be playing a commercial here about her 5-day, is 5-day or 9-day jump, Hill? 5-day jump. So make sure you do that, and make sure you check out our guest, Miss Phyllis Weaver. You got to discover your ultimate health. And if you want to discover your ultimate health, she's right here to help you do it. And thank you so much for everybody being with us. Make sure you join us again. Make sure you join us again on Friday when we're coming up with more news you can use. We've got a fabulous show coming up for you. And then don't forget to join me on the Lotus Roche Ignite show on tomorrow night. I've got a fabulous guest coming on the show on the Lotus Roche Ignite show, Miss Dee Bowden. She is going to be amazing. You are going to love the show, because we are not going to leave money on the table, and we're going to teach you how to stop leaving money on the table, because this is something that I learned here in 2020. Stop leaving money on the table. And Pamela Luhing was a part of the show tonight. She joined us from Texas, and she is one person that could really show you how to stop leaving money on the table. First and foremost, you got to tell people what it is that you do. You got to get it out. And if you have a tough time getting it out, you need to have somebody that can help you tell your story. So make sure you join me tomorrow on my show at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dee is going to be in the house with me, and we're going to help you stop leaving money on the table. So, Hill, I know you got something coming up on Tuesday. What you got going on Tuesday?
I cut the Vibrant Good Health Show. It's at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So it's like back to back, yourself
Right.
and I. But it's every Tuesday at 7 p.m. And I talk about all things that you can do to help your body, help you live a more vibrant life by activating your lymphatic system.
So let me ask you this. Is it a private group, or how can
No,
people catch up with you?
I'm sorry, that's on my personal page. You
Okay.
just go to Hillary Gooden and you'll find it. And it also streams to my business page, which is also Hillary Gooden. So I'm not hard to find. Yeah.
Nah, you pretty easy. You easy to find, and you're a very nice lady. So we happy to have you here on our show. So folks, please make sure you go and check Hill out. Go check her out. Hillary Gooden. You can't miss her. Check out how to have a more vibrant life, and don't let her forget to tell you how to do the lymphatic bounce. Okay, make sure she tell you that. And so, Miss Phyllis, what do you have going on coming up this week? You got anything coming up that we need to know about?
At this time, I have just people just to give me a call, set up an appointment for, just a discovery call, and we can get you ready for 2021 and put yourself back on track.
Awesome. And so there's the number right there. There's the number. Never fear. The number's right here. 919-429-0835. 919-429-0835. Go on over to discoverultimatehealth.com with Miss Phyllis Weaver, and you won't go wrong. So we are so happy that you all have joined us tonight. We appreciate you. Make sure you check us out on our individual shows, and then join us back here again on Friday, where we are helping you with more news you can use. And don't forget to check us out on the replay, like, share, start a watch party, run and tell somebody. And don't forget, if you want to be a celebrity on the show, just let us know. And so with that being said, we're going to bid you a farewell, a Vita Sane, and see you when we see you again. Have a great evening. Hello and welcome back to more news you can use with Lotus Richey. We've got another spectacular show for you that's going to help you climb to the next level of